Rockford's home for classic rock is 96.7 The Eagle. It's Double T, special guest on the phone, comedian Sebastian Maniscalco. What's going on, buddy?
Dialing the hotline number 815 brought me back to memories of DeKalb, Illinois, where I went to college at Northern.
How did that go at Northern?
Well, I graduated with a corporate organizational communications degree, and I went into stand-up comedy, so that's how that went.
When you were in DeKalb, where'd you like to hang out?
God, the jungle was a big
oh, yeah.
Amnesia, Molly's. I was in a fraternity up there, and believe it or not, I was the president of it at one point, and we had a lot of parties at our house. We always... during the chapter meetings, it would be like, okay, do you guys want a computer for the house or after-hours party? And it was always an after-hours party.
Now, did you guys ever make your way to Rockford at all?
Rockford, not really. Rockford, we came for the casino. Wasn't there a casino down there?
No.
Or was it the prison?
There you go.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been back to that part of the world. So, yeah, it's good. I'm coming back in March, though, for a couple of shows at the Chicago Theater in Rosemont, so I'm looking forward to performing in my hometown.
Now, you've got some time in between. The Chicago Theater shows on March 3rd. The Rosemont Theater shows on March 10th. Now, will you stay in town that whole time?
Yeah, we're going to pitch a flag there. I have a baby, a new baby. She's 6 months old, and my father still lives in Chicago, so we're going to spend a good 12 days down in the city and see some family, and I don't get a chance to spend a large amount of time in Chicago, so this is going to offer me the ability to do that. So looking forward to visiting family and friends while I'm there, and it's like a blessing and a curse performing in Chicago because the ticket requests are unbelievable. I mean, I got people coming out of the woodwork from grade school.
Is one show for the fans and one show for the family since you get so many ticket requests?
Yeah, I actually joked about that with my wife. I go, we just make one show just for friends and family. I mean, the way this is, because my father, he wants 75 tickets for his clients. He's like, I gotta pay back a lot of people, and I'm like, well, why do I gotta pay back to people? Shouldn't you? So it's all good though. My father, my mother will be there, and it's gonna be a nice week.
They live in the suburbs, right?
My mom actually lives out in Los Angeles, and my sister lives out in Los Angeles. My father lives in Arlington Heights.
He probably requested you to do the show in Rosemont, so he doesn't have to drive into the city.
Of course, I normally play the Chicago Theater, and that's it. But when you play that area, the people in the burbs, for them to go down the 90 and pay a toll is asking a lot. So we had to do the Rosemont show.
Add that one in. It's the Stay Hungry tour, but you're always on tour though.
Yeah, this tour is special for me because Stay Hungry is also the name of the book I wrote that's coming out February 27th. It's called Stay Hungry. It's basically essays about my career in comedy over the last 20 years and kind of all the jobs that I had, and talks about meeting my wife, having a baby, all that stuff kind of rolled up into one, and you could pre-order that on Amazon right now. So it's Stay Hungry because even in success, you really have to work double hard to kind of stay on the top of the mountain. So I grew up with a father and mother who really instilled work ethic into me, and it's all about kind of working hard, and nothing's really handed to you in life. And if you want to succeed, you gotta put the work in, and that's kind of what the book is about.
Coming out with a book, that's got to impress the parents a little bit.
Oh yeah, my father called me. You could write. So yeah, no, they, coming from the family I come from, nothing is ever good. I mean, it's. I could tell them, oh yeah, I'm playing Radio City Music Hall, 3 shows, and my mother would be like, yeah, well, you better bring your A game. I'm like, geez, can we just? Is there a congratulations in there anywhere? So. Yeah, my family, they're always kind of pushing me to do better, and I joke about it, but it's always in the back of my head.
When you were writing the book, how does that compare to writing your comedy bits?
Yeah, that's a good question. The book for me was a way for me to explain some of these stories that I've always kind of had, but they were too long and too detailed to put on the stage. When you do stand-up, you have to keep the people laughing, rolling at a, whatever, every 12 seconds you got to give them a laugh. But with the book, it allowed me to, for example, there was a point in my life where I was living in Chicago, and I just had graduated Northern Illinois, and I didn't have a job or anything, and I think I was temping and doing odd jobs. One of the jobs was I dressed up as Captain Morgan and went into bars and was passing out rum as Captain Morgan. This is what, 1991-ish or 95, I don't know, somewhere in there, where Baja Beach Club was still open in the city. I don't know if you remember.
I think I remember seeing you there.
Yeah, well, my buddies used to go there, and here I am, dressed up as Captain Morgan with a fake bird on my shoulder, and my buddies are at the bar, and they're stealing the bird. They stole my hook. So, those types of stories where, it takes a while to kind of set up and whatnot are in the book. And all these odd jobs I had, I was working at Honey Baked Ham at one point, glazing hams.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, there's a lot of different stories in there that I haven't told before. So it really was a fun process, but it was difficult for me. I mean, it was to write a book is no easy task, but I had a good time doing it.
Comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, he's coming to Chicago March 3rd at Chicago Theater, March 10th at the Rosemont Theater. Can you take any life situation and make it into a joke?
Not really. I mean, it's really got to hit me as being funny before I kind of present that to anybody else. I try and find the nuggets and things, but for me, comedy kind of writes itself right before my eyes. I mean, it could be something as simple as a neighbor moving in across the street and something happening with the neighbor that, like, well, that could go on stage. But no, for the most part, it comes in waves. Sometimes it's like, oh, wow, I'm getting a lot of material, and sometimes I'm struggling to find the funny in things. So I don't know. I don't know what exactly it is. What's the recipe for these jokes that I do? It's just sometimes it writes itself, and sometimes a little bit more difficult.
When you're on stage, have you ever worn a Fitbit to see how many steps you take?
I haven't worn a Fitbit, but I wore a heart monitor to see how many calories I burned, and it was 560 calories an hour. So I tell you, if I do comedy 7 days a week, I think I'm pretty good with the workouts. You
got the book coming out, Stay Hungry, in 2018. You got the tour. What else you got going on?
What else? I host this show with Pete Correale on Sirius XM Radio called The Pete and Sebastian Show. It airs at 5 o'clock on Fridays on Channel 99 there. So, and I'm dipping my toe into the movie game. I had a movie come out recently with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler called The House, and I was in an animated feature film called Nut Job 2, and I just wrapped up a film with Jeremy Renner and Ed Helms called Tag, which is about 40-year-old grown men who still play the game tag. It's actually based on a true story, and I play a little role in that as a pastor. So I'd like to get more into the movies, but the bread and butter is my stand-up, so it's fun to do both.
When you're coming back home, what are you going to have to definitely do in Chicago when you get that few days at home?
Well, I mean, I got to go to Portillo's. I got to go to Johnny's Beef and pick up a beef. My wife is from Memphis, Tennessee, and I introduced her to a beef sandwich when we first started dating, and she can't get enough. Man, she had a Johnny's Beef. She ate it like a great white. So she's excited to come back to Chicago, and so am I. Hopefully the weather will be cooperating around that time of year. However, who knows with Chicago weather.
You never know what you're going to get in March. Well, Sebastian, thank you so much for taking the time. Look forward to having you back in Chicago March 3rd at the Chicago Theater, March 10th at the Rosemont Theater. When's the book coming out?
February 27th, but you can pick it up on Amazon on a pre-order right now, so it's available.
Awesome. We'll go check it out. Sebastian Maniscalco coming to Chicago. Thanks for taking the time, buddy.
You got it. Take care.
Rockford's home for classic rock is 96.7 The Eagle.